Brian Dickinson is a climber who's soloed to the summit of Mount Everest and joins us now from Seattle. It's not looking like good news for these missing climbers. Reports that 5 bodies have been spotted and hopes fading for the other 3.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, you want to keep all hopes alive because miracles do happen. But the fact that 5 bodies have been seen, it's definitely not looking good.
And the fact that it's being speculated that they died because of this avalanche, is that something that you can anticipate or plan for?
No, in climbing, especially high altitude mountaineering, you plan for things within your control, and you train for that, and you try to be prepared for something like an avalanche and do your best. But the mountain's in control at that point. On these larger peaks, of 6, 7,000 meters, I mean, they're steep. They're really steep, so the likelihood of surviving an avalanche is very low. And in this case, since the bodies are being seen, they've most likely died on impact. And, if the rest are not alive, they're probably buried, and it can take a long time, years to
Mm.
find them.
What do you make of the fact that they were trying to scale a peak that hadn't been climbed before? I mean, technically, that must be a very difficult thing to do.
It is, and it sounds like a part of the group broke off to go climb this peak. And it's, when you're climbing mountains, you look around, there's other mountains, they all seem interesting. It may have appeared as maybe even less technical than the one they were climbing, because they were climbing it to acclimate, to put themselves in a better position to climb, Nanda Devi. So you never know what the situation was. Avalanches kick off, without warning, and it's just, it's an unfortunate event.
Mm. And this, of course, comes hard on the heels of concerns over Mount Everest. A lot of people saying that it's been overcrowded. There's been a lot of deaths this year. Do you think the sport as a whole is coming under the spotlight?
It's certainly under the spotlight. I mean, the popularity of climbing has really increased in the last few decades, and definitely accelerated, maybe with social media and everything else. So there's plenty of people that they love to climb, but should they be on these larger peaks? Maybe not. Maybe they need to increase their resume on some smaller peaks. But the problem this year, it's been maybe less about the climbers, but more about the weather, because it's really, like on Everest, it really forced a lot of people through a small window to go for the summit. And that's going to increase your chances and of survival, because on a good day, Everest and some of these larger peaks, it's all about survival.
Brian, thank you for joining us. Brian Dickinson there in Seattle.